It's Wednesday, June 13th, 2018. We're going to talk about where LeBron should go. The Lakers? 76ers? The Rockets? Or the Nuggets? Now don't turn off the thing yet. Don't turn it off. I know what you're saying. No, the Nuggets? What are you, nuts? He's not going to the Nuggets. I get that. He's not coming to Denver. I get that. But it doesn't mean he shouldn't. So we're going to go over some of these teams real quick and the reasons he should go. First off, we'll start with the Houston Rockets. I don't think he's going to end up with the Houston Rockets. I definitely don't think he's going to stay in Cleveland. But if he was to go to the Houston Rockets with Chris Paul and Harden, and maybe he can teach D'Antoni and reel him in a little bit, the coach of the Rockets, on how to win championships. I know what you're saying, you just lost 2 of these championships in a row, but LeBron still has 3, and he's been to 8 straight finals. The man knows how to win. Now, his legacy is a little tarnished because he's got so many losses, but to me, he's still a phenomenal talent, one of the all-time greatest players that there ever is going to be. He is always going to be in that top 5 conversation. For the next 50 years, this guy is going to be one of those guys you talk about as a top 5 player. You're always going to sit there and go, was he the best? Was he the best? Was he the best? Even as we get players that come in over the next 50 years, LeBron is always going to be in the conversation. Just like people can still bring Wilt Chamberlain into the conversation, or Russell. I forget he won 13 championships. I should be able to remember the man's name. Magic Johnson or Larry Bird or people like that are always still considered Michael Jordan at the top of their game, the top of the league. And I think LeBron is always going to be there. Always. It's going to be impossible to forget about LeBron. So we'll start with, I think if he goes to the Rockets, it makes a big 3. It easily gives to where the Warriors can't just worry about LeBron. Now the Warriors still have to worry about Harden, and you got to worry about Chris Paul if he's healthy. But I think even if it's just Harden and LeBron, that's 2 gigantic superstars. I know what you're saying, well, they had Kyrie. The Celtics proved that they could go to the Eastern Conference Finals without Kyrie Irving. So I'm not so sold that Kyrie Irving is going to win championships for your team. Now, we'll see next year. Hopefully Kyrie stays healthy. Hopefully Hayward stays healthy. And we'll see what the Celtics can really do. But the Celtics still went to the Eastern Conference Finals without him. They were able to win without Kyrie Irving. The Cleveland Cavaliers still won without Kyrie Irving. So I'm not so sold that Kyrie Irving is the best team player to win championships on his own. So that puts the Celtics are going to be at the top of that. But now the Rockets have Harden, who is a legitimate threat from anywhere on the floor to make a basket. You have LeBron James. Now LeBron James is going to be another year older. Harden might be able to carry him a little bit. And if Chris Paul is healthy, he's a great floor general. Maybe you take the ball out of LeBron's hands and let Chris Paul kind of dictate where LeBron goes. And I know LeBron will tell him the best places to set him up. And Chris Paul, being a great point guard, will do that. So I think they instantly become contenders in the West. And they instantly become contenders to win the whole dang thing. And to me, if LeBron goes to the Houston Rockets, they probably would win the whole thing. There's some solid backups there, but your main focus is Harden, Paul, LeBron. So the next team, the 76ers. I like the 76ers makeup, I really do, but they got beat. That young team still might not be there, but that young team has talents. And the 2 talents at the top of that list are Simmons and Embiid. When Embiid is healthy, he's a monster. Simmons, he's a young player, but he's learning to shoot. Now, I like LeBron going to Philadelphia only because I think it would they would still be the best team in the East at that point. So he would go to his 9th straight finals and whatnot, but I'm not so sure he would win there. I think they would still have some problems, but to me, he has a better chance of winning in Philadelphia than he does in Cleveland. And if he gets to the finals with the Philadelphia 76ers and Embiid is healthy and Simmons is healthy with another year under their belts, that team could be dangerous. And LeBron would have talent around him other than, who? Exactly. There was nobody really there. J.R. Smith is not a help. Hood was not a help. Unfortunately, all the players that they got helped him get to the finals, but once they got there, they just looked so overmatched. And I think that first game took everything out of them. Now, the next team, those are two teams he could go. He could be a championship contender in Philadelphia as long as Simmons and Embiid grow a little bit. He can be a championship contender. He'll win the East. I still think he can win the East. Even with the healthy Celtics team, I would still pick him to win the East if he went to the 76ers. If he goes to the Rockets, I think he can win the title. But if he goes, and here's my pick of why he should go to the Lakers. Maybe he's tired. He's tired of being the focus. He's tired of everybody saying, your team should win because you're LeBron James. So if he goes to the Lakers, he can make them a lot better. Because with Kuzma, with Ball, with Ingram, there's a lot of young talent there. And they showed spurts. And if Lonzo Ball stays healthy the whole year, they're going to get another lottery pick. They could get another good young player. Maybe Paul George goes there. They're starting to say that maybe Paul George will stay in Oklahoma City. But what if Paul George does go there? That team could... they're not going to contend for the West, but then a lot of people would say, LeBron, you can't contend for the West. You can't beat the Warriors. You can't beat the Rockets. You can't beat the Spurs. You can't beat those teams. Not with the young Lakers team. So maybe it would take some pressure off of him. Not to mention he would get to go to LA. He could be closer to a lot of his entertainment ventures that I think he wants to be more of he'd be a lot closer, I think, to a lot of the stuff that he sponsors and does commercials for and stuff like that. So he'd be a lot closer to it. He's already somebody already said one of his kids is already signed up to enroll at a LA high school. So maybe his family likes LA. Maybe they would like to live there full time, and not just bounce back and forth during basketball season. But he could go to the Lakers and maybe relax a little bit. Maybe he could kind of go, I can't get this team to a championship. I can get them close. I can make them better, but maybe everybody will just kind of get off my back of thinking that I have to win a championship every year. And he can take a breather. And maybe that breather will instill some life into him. It'll charge him up again because he can sit there and go, they don't think I can do it. But maybe I prove them wrong. But I get to sneak up on them and it's not expected. Because LeBron is ultra competitive, and I think he's still going to try to win a championship, even in LA. But he could go there and relax a little bit, I think, because I don't think the expectations for him to win the West, I don't even think they would expect him to win his division, let alone the West. So he could probably relax because expectations would be relaxed on him. Now, the other team I put in there, the Nuggets. Now, I know what you're saying, the Nuggets. Don't turn it off just yet. The Nuggets are one superstar away from being a contender in the West. I believe that. I watched this team. Millsap, when he's healthy, is a very good forward. Jokic is a special player, but he's not a superstar. He's a Scottie Pippen. He's a Scottie Pippen to LeBron's Jordan. That is what LeBron needs. He needs a strong front court guy like Millsap and a guy like Jokic that can be his Pippen. Then he's got some good young guards sitting in the backcourt. He's got Murray. He's got Harris. He's got some young guys. There's another guy that's in that roster there's some other young guys that are on that roster that are good. Up front, you got Herman Gomez. He's a solid 5-7 minute guy. but he'll give you solid minutes. Then you got this Trey Lyles. Trey Lyles got better as the year went on. He's a good young player, power forward, but he got better as the year went on. There was Malik Beasley, another guy, just solid, got better. Daryl Arthur, another guy that was just solid, solid, solid. But you would have a starting lineup that could have Jokic, Millsap, LeBron, Harris, Murray. Good young players. Millsap's a little older. Millsap's probably in his prime player with LeBron. And a bench that has good young players that are solid role players. That team could be an instant contender, but he'd get to sneak up on him because nobody pay attention to the talent, and nobody knows Denver. So they wouldn't know what he's capable of or what the team is capable of. They just missed the playoffs with that team without a superstar and a lot of young players. Lyles, Harris, Murray, all young. Beasley, young. Lyles, young. These are young guys. There's a lot of young. Even Jokic is not that old. Jokic, I think, is only a 4 or 5 year player. He's very young. So much young talent that all of a sudden LeBron could help. I don't know if he'd win a championship, but I think LeBron could get him closer than the Nuggets have been in a long time. And Denver has the most sunny days of any city in the United States of America, I'm told. It's like, other than there's a city in Arizona that's way sunnier. But I was surprised when I heard it. But I guess we have a lot of sunny days and we have snow. So, but I think LeBron could come here, he could sneak up on people, and he could make the Nuggets contenders. He could make the Nuggets contenders for the championship. The Nuggets have a lot of good young talent. They're just one superstar away from being a serious, serious contender for the NBA Finals. So, chew on that. With all that being said, to the troops, past, present, and future, thanks for the freedom.